back home again in Indiana. And it seems like I can't sing, but what is going on? What is cooling, man? We got the Indianapolis Colts at number 29 up next. And you better believe that going back home again, I got to get back home again, Indy. I love Indianapolis. We're going to talk about this football team, man, and we're going to keep it rocking because this team is going to be something that keeps a very polarizing eye in a division that is definitely still up for grabs. So I think that it just comes down to what happens with the quarterback situation here. Anthony Richardson, the aggravated shoulder again. What is going on? It really sucks. Anyway, Daniel Jones, can he be the guy? Can he have that resurgence? Can he really get going? Who knows? But this offensive line, I rank really well. Tackle, number 9 in the NFL. It's a good one. Bernard Raymond, the Austrian. And man, it's like Arnold Schwarzenegger. I love that. And it's like a movie. Bernhard Raymond. I don't know, but anyway, yeah, he's got an epic name. You got Brandon Smith on the other end at right tackle, going into a contract year, I believe. So that's something. But they drafted Jalen Travis. This team has done a great job. Obviously, they looked forward into the future, kind of knowing where they were at with Will Fries. You got Matt Gonzalez there out of Pittsburgh last year in the mid-rounds. They go out and get Jalen Travis in the mid-rounds. They've drafted and developed these guys. And Travis at Iowa State, he looked very good. Like, I don't know if he's got tremendous upside, but he exactly fits what this team's looking for. And they don't put tons and tons of pressure on their tackles because a lot of times they have 2 tight end sets and they do chips and stuff like that. So they can get away with less athleticism or shorter arm guys because they can help, they can chip out and things like that. But don't get me wrong, these 2 tackles really good. Jalen Travis should be able to develop fine. It's a top 10 tackle room in the NFL. Easy. Then you go into the interior of the offensive line. Guard, I rank at number 11. Just comes down to Matt Gonzalez, but I thought he looked really good last year, and I don't see why he won't be even better at guard because it'll limit some of those limitations with the athleticism. And yeah, he's strong. He's big. He's tall. He's a monster. He can run block. So you got Dalton Tucker who will be competing for him, I'm sure, at that right guard position. I do think Gonzalez ends up winning that job. Of course, Quentin Nelson's locked in there. Center, you got Tanner Bortolini. You got the Italian over here. I don't know if he's Italian or not, but man, sure sounds like some good spaghetti. I think Bortolini, though, is going to be a very good center for this team, and ultimately, they wouldn't have let go of one of the best centers that this team's had in Ryan Kelly. I think that they feel very confident in Bortolini. You got Danny Pinter as a backup. Wesley French as well can play center for them. So I think that those 3 guys end up making the roster. Then maybe Sills, maybe he ends up being on practice squad. We'll see how that ends up working out, how many people end up making the roster on the interior. On to the wide receivers, which looks really good. I rank them at number 12. They're just so well-rounded. They've got depth, man. And I will say it's going to be tough for some of the UDFA guys to make the roster here. I think it's going to be Dolan, Mitchell, and Gould, special teams there. But obviously Pittman, Pierce, and Downs will be your early-on starters. AD, got to step up this year, show a little bit more. To me, they're looking at this. I mean, maybe they pay Alex Pierce. I think they keep Pierce, though. I don't know. Pierce might get a little bit more money. So it's really going to depend on how he plays this year. Played really well last year. He really did. He had a good season. So it's going to be a key for him if he wants to get paid here. Pittman, they could end up moving on from Pittman if A.D. Mitchell steps up. So that's going to be something we'll have to watch out for. But in general, this receiving core looks great. Josh Downs, to me, is their number 1 wide receiver. When he's out on the field, he is one of the toughest guys. Just saying, who is one of the toughest guys in the NFL to guard one-on-one? I think it's Downs because he's just so slippery in and out of his routes. On to the tight end room, which it's improved. Again, this would have been, you got Molly Cox, who's solid. They may end up moving on from Molly Cox if they wanted to save a little bit of money. They could do that. Don't need to. I imagine Ogletree is a lock to make the roster. Then it comes down to guys like Will Mallory and Jelani Woods. That's my guess. Maybe Alberto can make the roster. Sean McKinnon's more of a veteran there. Maximilian Mang, I haven't heard of him, to be honest with you, so I don't know about him, but he can make practice squad. But I imagine Will Mallory and Jelani Woods will be competing for a spot. But you got Tyler Warren in there, first-round selection, who I don't think anybody really imagined that they would just – I don't know. A lot of mock drafts had – of course, I had him, Tyler Warren, going to the Colts every single mock draft, so – I didn't think he would fall, though, actually, in the actual draft. Obviously, Colson Loveland went in front of him. But Loveland, Warren, both really good tight ends in this draft. They get Warren here to fill in for a much-needed help in this system that's going to utilize tight ends. They utilize 2 tight ends a lot. Warren's going to be a perfect addition, too, because he can block. Then we go on to the running back room. JT, Jonathan Taylor. Got to stay healthy, man. It's a big thing for him. It's just a little bit of the depth. Who's going to be that number 2 guy? Is it going to be Khalil Herbert, DJ Giddens, Tyler Goodson? That's really my guess on who they keep. I don't know. Will they keep Sullivan Ahmed? Ulysses Bentley could be a practice squad guy there. SMU, right? UDFA. So I think it's a really good running back room, though. I'm not worried about it, even though it's ranked number 20. Again, there's a lot of really good running back rooms in the NFL. You're either, like, if you don't want to be like bottom 5, 7 range, anywhere like top 20, top 23, there's running back rooms are really good. And this could easily be a top 10 running back room depending on some things, variables, right? Look at that lightning behind Anthony Richardson. Hopefully they get some lightning on that shoulder to heal it up. Boom, like Mike. That was too many tongue twisters. Like Mike. But yeah, I'm serious. Like Mike. That shoe. You remember that one movie? And it's like the shoes on his feet. Maybe they can get something for Anthony Richardson like that. Like seriously, Anthony, I want you to stay healthy. I love you, man. I just want to see you out there on the football field. I know he's got so much talent, but injuries will destroy your career. It doesn't matter how talented you are. If you can't stay on the field, look at Bob Sanders. As good as Bob Sanders was, he was just, and that guy, oh my gosh, my dad ran into him one day. He told me, he's like, this guy literally is a small brick house. He's like super small, but he is just this monster Goliath, and you wouldn't expect it, man. But anyway, that's a side note. Just got to stay healthy with Richardson. Really rooting for him. Daniel Jones, I figure, will be the end up starting early on in the season as Anthony Richardson gets healthy. Maybe Daniel Jones can run away with things. Who knows? Riley Leonard will make that third quarterback spot. I don't know about Jason Bean. Maybe he gets a practice squad. I doubt he makes the roster, though. Defensively, what are we looking at? Defensive line looks really good. A lot of upside here, too, with this defensive line. I do think they're going to have to look in the draft this year on the interior of the defensive line just because they're getting a little bit older. I rank them number 7 right now. DeForest Buckner still playing unbelievable. Grover Stewart, unbelievable. So, yeah, it's a very, very good 1-2 punch. I mean, when Grover Stewart's not in there, man, their run game falls down a cliff. Literally, because their linebacking core has struggled stopping the run at times. So, Grover, stay healthy, man. If not, the run game's going to go to the shitter. Edge rusher-wise, I rank them at 21. Just comes down to, I mean, do they have a superstar in here? I think Latu could be a superstar. I think Kwity Paye, I keep saying this, I think he's going to get better and better as age goes along with him. He just strikes me as that type of guy. He's a really solid athlete. I mean, he's just got all-around traits. He just needs to continue to develop, get better with his hands, be more consistent. He just seems like a guy that's going to get better with age. So, I don't know. That's a feeling I have. You got JT Tuimoloau, though, in the second round, who still is not signed with all these, like 30 other second-rounders that haven't been signed because of the guaranteed situation with Jaden Hicks. Overall, though, Tuimoloau is going to be able to impact this room right away if he's signed. Samson Ebneam, I'm excited to see him back, too. He's going to be a huge boost for this team. He was a really good pass rusher, kind of being forgot about right now. Good pass rusher. You got Taquan Lewis, a great situational pass rusher as well. So those are your guys. I'm guessing those are the 5 guys that are your main rotation and make the roster. Isaiah Land's going to be competing, I imagine, too, for a roster spot or at least a practice squad. He should be practice squad eligible. Anyway, Tim Smith, another guy on the interior that should end up making the roster. Neville Gallimore, I think, will make the roster. But Tomi Wadabare will also be competing, I'm sure, with him. But Gallimore, he's a little more experienced. Maybe they keep him and whatnot. Eric Johnson, too. On to the linebacking core. Oh, I rank him number 30th. But it just comes down to staying injury-free. And that's what you can say a lot about any position, of course. But specifically, both of these guys coming off injuries last year. So that's going to be a key thing to watch early on in the season. How healthy are these guys? Jalen Carlisle's from Missouri, 5th-round pick. Like, he flashed. I mean, he can be that coverage linebacker next to Jair Franklin, who's more of the downhill attacking style of guy, right? Not really a good coverage player. So they needed a guy next to Franklin who gives you that, and Carlisle's does. So I'm hoping that this group could be really good. I got a Luby, too, who's not a bad player, and he's a good really good special teamer. So you got Beshi, McGrone, maybe Jacob Phillips, too. Yeah, that's kind of the way I'm looking at this linebacking league. And then on to the cornerback room here, which, what an overhaul, man. Oh my gosh, this cornerback room looks good. I have him top 10. I have him number 10. And it starts with Kenny Moore, of course, but you bring in Charvarius Ward from San Francisco. Obviously, he dealt with a really not just football, of course, a tough season mentally, emotionally, family, of course. That is the number one thing. And yeah, I'm wishing him the best, but he is super talented. I mean, he was one of the best corners in the NFL. And you bring him in here with Kenny Moore, Jalen Jones, Justin Wally. It's Wally. I love it, man. But yeah, Wally, I was really not surprised. I know a lot of people saw third round. What are the Colts doing? Wally is super underrated and a guy that I fully expect is going to be a very good football player. I would be shocked if he's not a good football player. He has, I mean, you're gonna get those Kenny Moore strikes and similarities. He has that tenaciousness, despite his size, that he plays with. Turn on some Minnesota tape, man. He plays with tenacity. If I had to describe one word with Wally, it's tenacity. And he's a really fluid athlete as well. Very sticky coverage corner. Huge fan of Wally, not just the movie, but man, Wally's going to be one heck of a stud for this team too. So they're 4 deep. You got Juju Brent's got to stay healthy, of course. Samuel Warmack, I imagine. I'd keep Warren. Hopefully they keep him on the roster. I think they end up letting go of Corey Ballantyne if I had to choose who they end up cutting here. They'll keep Brent's, I imagine, and then Warmack, and then that's kind of the way they're rolling in terms of the depth. But overall, this cornerback room looks really good. It's turned into a monster strength. Safety, it's fine. I'm not worried about the safety room. I think Ronnie Thomas gives some good depth as well. I think he'll be better, too, in Lou Anarumu's defense than he was last year. It just seemed like him and Gus Bradley, they didn't jive. But Cameron Bynum and Nick Cross, really good 1-2 punch there. I could even see this being higher than where it's at right now for my ranking. I think that's a very conservative. I mean, Nick Cross was really good last season, so he could continue to build on that. They may have to pay him big time money this season. I don't know. Hunter Waller is going to be somebody to late round pick that, 7th round pick or something like that. So yeah, he's going to be a round out depth and special teams. I imagine he's going to be good special teams early on. So very solid safety group that has some potential here to be a top 15 unit very, very easily in my eyes. Coaching, this is where I if you can tell my hesitation right now, I do fall off a little bit. Like, I love Lou Anarumu. I think he was kind of the scapegoat in Cincinnati, but I think he'll do a very good job here. You got head coach Shane Steichen. But I don't know, man. I've not been huge on Shane Steichen. There's been some things I really like about him in his scheme, right? I talk about with the tight ends, the way he utilizes tight ends, I think is really ingenious. It takes pressure off quarterbacks. Sometimes the pass game, though, I feel like is a little generic at times. Obviously, you got Jim Bob Cooter is making the calls OC-wise, so there's that. But I just kind of want to say in general, I want to see a little bit more from Jim Bob Cooter, Shane Steichen this season to really make me buy in. That's why the ranking's a little lower, right? I'm just nitpicking of reasons why you say he's on the hot seat this year. I certainly don't think Shane's a terrible coach or anything like that. I wouldn't call him the worst coach or anything like overall that bad or worst coach I've seen. But I do think I want to see a little bit more, right? The expectations I want to, it's umphin', right? It's coming up here. So that's why I've ranked a little bit lower for that explanation. Anyway, finishing up here with my roster prediction. I almost said restaurant prediction. I'm like, restaurant prediction? What are we going out here? I don't even know. But anyway, you got the Indianapolis Colts going 4-13 for me. It is a tough call, man. I think it just comes down to what happens, the quarterback position, how I feel on coaching. I had to make a couple of tough calls here. I have it number 29. Hopefully a good season for the Indianapolis Colts. It's honestly painful for me obviously as a Jets fan and as a Colts native and also a fan. I love the Colts, man. So it's kind of painful to see both of these teams at 4-13, but I do think good things are in the future for both of those all of these football teams have futures, of course. But I do feel like a hater, I'm not going to lie. I'm like, geez Louise, I'm even thinking about this right now. But anyway, I love you guys, you know what I'm saying? So I hope you guys have a good one. I'll talk to you soon.